Hey, it's Tina Lorraine, your certified abundant mindset coach and your ghostwriter guru. And today, the theme is, are you ready to heal? And just saying that you're healed does not make it so. Just saying that you're healed doesn't make it so. It doesn't. We can affirm all day, and I'm a firm believer in affirmations. I say them every day. But just saying it is what I am or becoming is not making it so by itself. A lot of times as new coaches and consultants, because we are helping people solve problems in their lives, we first have to be honest about who we are and what problems we have solved in our own lives. And in order for us to do that, we have to get honest. We have to get real with ourselves. We have to heal from pain and trauma and wrong mindsets on a daily basis. And this is something that we can't get around. I could never get around healing after God told me that life coaching was a calling of mine. It's not something that I can duck or dodge from. And I had to understand me. It's a journey to understand yourself. It's a journey to understand what makes you happy, what makes you blissful, what makes you align to the divine inside of yourself. And I had to align by, first of all, loving myself. And we hear that a lot. What is loving yourself? Well, part of it was recognizing the truth about who I am and where I was in my mindset right there at that point in my life, in every point in my life, every day. Daily, I have to recognize, what is your mindset? What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about yourself? What are you aspiring to be? What new mindset do you have to create in order to be this person that God has put in your heart, to be free, to be peaceful, to be joyful, to be loving, to be kind, to be helpful and resourceful, to love myself, to not criticize myself. I used to be a very harsh criticizer of myself because I had a very shame-based mentality. And I was ashamed because of all the abuse that had happened in my life. I was ashamed because I was always invisible to people. I was ashamed because I wasn't using my voice. I was ashamed because I felt like I didn't matter. I was ashamed because I didn't think God loved me. I was ashamed because I was a woman. I was ashamed because I was a sexual abuse victim. It was just a lot of shame-based thinking. And see, you have to understand yourself before you can help others. As coaches and consultants, we have to understand us before we can help navigate other people through their changes and through their challenges. And hopefully they won't have to repeat the same mistakes that you did. But in order for you to help them, you have to get free yourself. So saying you're healed does not make it so. Just saying it doesn't make it so. You have to be in alignment every day. You have to be committed to your daily routine of seeking peace, joy, and love. You have to be committed to your daily routine of affirming. You have to be committed to yourself and to trusting the God inside of you, to trusting your heart and your desires. You have to be committed to not comparing yourself, your past, or your future with anybody else's. Once I started healing, like I said before, God would put me in these rooms with women that were women that I've always, that I would look up into, that would intimidate me, that I was like, why does God keep putting me in these rooms? At the time, I wasn't recognizing because I was one of those women, because I was still, in my journey, affirming and to clearing my head about who I was, which was not a victim or an invisible person or someone who had nothing to say and nothing to tell and nobody to help. That's not why God put me in these rooms. God put me in these rooms because I am that woman. I am that woman who's resourceful. I am that woman who's committed. I am that woman who's a businesswoman. I am that woman who's a life coach. I am that woman. And that's what you have to understand as well when you're a new coach or consultant and you're on that journey to helping others. You have to understand what you are first before you can free somebody else. And this is what I help new coaches and consultants with. Sometimes we get the call and we just don't know where to start. I got the call. I didn't know where to start. There are dreams in our hearts. We don't know where to start. But the good thing is that we have God in our hearts. And yes, we are victorious, Raldo. We're victorious because we have love. We're victorious because we have God. We're victorious if we decide and choose to accept what God has given us to do. And that's to create a life out of the desire of your heart and align to the desires of your heart. There are things that we are becoming that we are not yet, but that does not mean that we are not becoming that by daily affirming, daily alignment, daily acceptance of your now. If you stay in your now, meaning this moment right here, I'm in my now, I'm on this live, I'm talking to you guys, I'm standing in my calling, I'm accepting myself, I'm at peace, I'm feeling joy, I'm feeling blissful. So I accept my now, and I also see who I'm becoming, but I don't get caught up in my future, and I let my past go daily. We always have to let our past go daily. Let it go. It has to be a choice. And it's not something that God pushes us to do. It's something that we have to tell ourselves in our minds to do. That's why we do say affirmations. That's why we do sit in alignment every morning. Just sit in quiet. Listen to the birds. Listen to your thoughts pass by. Meditate on a verse of scripture if you want. Do whatever it takes, but it doesn't take a long time to develop a mindset to align to the divine inside of you. So once you do that, it frees your heart up. It frees you of the judgment and harsh criticism of others, of thinking what other people will think. Like I said, my past wasn't pretty. Like I said, it's not the beautiful story of, roses and candy stripes, and rainbows and unicorns and all that stuff. It doesn't make me look like, I don't know, who's your favorite star or whatever. It doesn't make me look like the star of the show. And you know what? There was a time where I cared. I would walk around in secret and shame. I mean, you couldn't see it. I was my same self on the outside, but I was always downing myself on the inside, the internal dialogue. And I was always shaming myself, and I was always telling myself, oh my gosh, you'll never be like these people. These people are so great and so wonderful and all this other stuff. And do you know how much damage that does to our own psyches when we don't align and we don't love ourselves? It does so much psychological damage. And then we align to people who are just as low vibe as we are at the time, and that does more psychological damage. And until you get tired. Like I said, my tired flag came when my health started to disintegrate, and I started to feeling really empty inside. I would go to church and just feel like, this ain't it. This ain't it. I am not healed. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm praise dancing. I'm loving on people. I'm helping people. I'm doing all this stuff, and I ain't happy. I'm not healed. There's something inside of me that's empty. And I know God isn't dead. God is love. God is love. God is peace. God is joy. I knew all the Bible scriptures. I knew all that stuff. I did all the Bible studies. I followed all the Bible people. And I was still feeling not healed on the inside. And God had to begin to tear down a lot of religious strongholds in my mind. Not against anybody's faith or anything like that. I still believe in the principles of the Bible, spiritual laws, God, love, peace, all of that. That's what heals me. But my personal relationship with myself and with God is what truly got to the root of my healing. And once you understand that, it's not about church, it's not about a priest, it's not about a rabbi, it's not about a preacher, pastor, it's not about any of that. It's about you and your totally personal relationship with God and what you're willing to face in yourself and heal in order to help other people, in order to follow your dreams, in order to create the life that you want to have, the life that you see in your heart, the life that God has implanted and impregnated you with to birth out, to co-create, to take the baby steps with God. God will show you how to become what you need to become. And it's not going to be some big miraculous cloud or parting of the sea. And stop looking for that stuff. Look for the daily small miracles. Look for the little things. Before you know it, you'll be healed of things you won't know how you got healed. You'll be freer in your mind. You won't know how it happened. You'll feel at peace with yourself, and you'll just be like, hey, wait a minute. I didn't used to feel peaceful. These are the miracles that we need to be looking for. Not looking for money to drop out of the sky, or a new car to appear in front of our house, or somebody to walk up and say, I have made you a millionaire. All that stuff. I'm not, I haven't met anybody yet that's happened to. So we need to get out of our fairy tale thinking about that and just accept that it's going to take some work for us to be who we want to be. But at the same time, the work is not the high climbing mountain or something that we feel like we can't get through. It might feel like that sometimes when you're healing from things that were very hurtful or painful. It might feel like, oh my God. You feel like you're in the valley on a lot of days. There was a lot of days where I've been in the valley. But God is always, 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 always dependable, no matter what you're going through. So if you trust yourself and you love yourself enough to know that no matter up days, down days, in between days, every day spent here on earth can be joyful and blissful, and you can be one step closer to creating the dream, the life that you see inside, including the joy, the peace, including the money, including the health, including the wealth, the love. You can create those things in your life with God, but there is a plan for you that's specific to you, just like my plan is specific to me. And sometimes a lot of the times we need help, y'all. We need help with those plans that God gives us. So God gives us people, resources, and we have to follow those people and resources. We have to utilize the help that God gives us. Those are other miracles that God gives us. So I'm just going to encourage you to join my mailing list. The link is in my bio. Send out newsletters, inspirational newsletters. You also get the first about any classes I have going on. You can also sign up to work with me one-on-one if you're in that phase of your life where you say, I am ready to heal, Miss Tina. Send me a DM. Talk to me. I am here. I am here for you. Always reach out. I respond back. And that's all I got for you today. Are you ready to heal? Saying you're healed does not make it so. There's work involved, and you need to align to it. I love you guys. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.